Surprise number 2 is that the ergonomic handle redesign, like the Domino XL that it takes its cues from, seems to make it remarkably front heavy. My 2006 corded Domino weighs in at 3.3 kilos or thereabouts. This new cordless version is closer to 3.6. That jumps to 4.2 when you add a lightweight battery. That's about 2 pounds heavier. That's quite a lot in the hand. And I know this isn't that big of a deal. Tools that carry their own power supply with them will always be on the heavier side. But what I did find surprising was the overall balance. With the battery top and center, it handles okay for edge mortises, but for the face mortise, the weight of the battery is dragging it away from the workpiece, even with a little support bracket fitted. By the way, I think the support bracket or foot has always been on the lighter weight side, even back in 2006 when you had to pay extra for it. But I think it's a very poor choice on this particular model, and you'd be better served by using one of the many third-party alternatives, whether that's this Benchtools Tools Big Base, the TSO Bigfoot, or a DIY option. I'm sure all the 3D printing guys out there will be all over this, and if they're not, then I may have to be. Talking of design cues from the XL, it probably isn't that much of a surprise that the new Domino has double reference pins. The Domino's always had pins that reference off the edge of the workpiece. This first production run has actual sprung pins, much like the Maffel Dowler, but they were replaced soon after by the little paddles, and these developed into the pivoting pins that came along with the XL. The new Domino has 2 pairs of these, and they can be pushed back into the body of the machine independently or released as needed. I mentioned earlier that the little plastic support foot had changed slightly. One of the lesser known features of the original was that it had little plastic pegs, little legs that could be swung out and used to reference off the edge of the material instead of the sprung pins. The pins put a mortise on 37mm centers from the edge of the workpiece. Yes, the 32mm system has a lot to answer for, but the little pegs made this 20mm from the edge, much closer, obviously. And actually sometimes they felt a little bit too close, especially on a wider mortise. On the 2025 support foot, those pegs have been removed because that extra pair of sprung pins on the new Domino fence puts the mortise closer to the edge. But now at around 22mm centers, that extra couple of millimeters of breathing room clearly makes for a much more comfortable plunge.